Library STEM, May 22nd, 2020. Hi again, boys and girls. It's great to see you again. Today, scholars, I'm going to read about 1/3 of the graphic novel, I Survived the Sinking of the Titanic, 1912. I do want to let you know at the end you'll have some choices to make. I'm going to be reading in different tones and in different voices today to make the novel come alive. So wish me luck. I survived. Monday, April 15th, 1912, 1:50 a.m. The Titanic is sinking. We hit an iceberg. Help us! Land is far, far away, and I'm scared. More scared than when Papa swore he'd send me away to military school. Jump! Aye! Caw-caw! More than when that Black Panther crossed me and chased me through the woods back home. Gunshot! Just hold on, George. Don't look at the water below. Think about Mama. Papa always says she's watching, even from heaven. Can she see me now? We're going down! Crash! I can't hold on. I'm slipping. Groan! No! Thump! And then even the stars go black. Thank you, Scholastic, for allowing librarians and teachers like me all over the world to read your books. 19 hours earlier, Sunday, April 14th, 1912, 7:15 a.m. All right, Papa, I'll get to my chores as soon as But I'm not at home. I'm on the Titanic, the greatest ship in the world. It's our 5th day at sea. Morning! What were you looking at? Phoebe always has questions, even at the crack of dawn. Maybe all those questions are what makes my little sister so smart. I thought I saw a giant squid, and it's coming to get us. What's this? You know the rule, no having fun without me. Our Aunt Daisy is so funny and cheerful. Hard to believe she's so old, 22. Georgie said he saw a giant squid. I wouldn't doubt it. Everyone wants to get a look at the Titanic, even sea monsters. I halfway believe her. I never imagined anything like the Titanic. The day we boarded, Aunt Daisy called the ship a floating palace, but it's way better than any dusty old castles we saw in England. We have 3 whole rooms, one for Phoebe and me, one for Aunt Daisy, and one for sitting around and doing nothing. We even have a steward named Henry. His Irish accent makes everything he says sound like a jolly song. Is there anything else you might need? I keep trying to think of something else, but what could you ever need on the Titanic? And the ship keeps giving me these great ideas, like climbing up to the crow's nest on the first day at sea. Aunt Daisy! She nearly fainted. On our 2nd day at sea, I explored the ship. Aunt Daisy warned me I'd get lost, but I always found my way. Mama used to say I had a map of the world behind my eyes. I saw the engine rooms and the boiler rooms and wound up in the 3rd-class recreation area. See? My good luck charm. It's a Bowie knife. The handle is real elk's antler. Enzo. George. Giorgio. Ha! I am Marco, and Enzo's father. You are our first American friend. We come from Italy, and now we move to New York City. You're moving to New York? I'll bet you'll be a Giants fan. Every decent baseball fan who lives in New York loves the Giants. Ha ha ha, that is important to know. How old is Enzo? He is 4 years old. He lost his mama, but that is past, and now we will start a new life in America. I'm sorry, I lost my mama too. It's getting late. I better get back to my aunt. Giorgio! I never heard anyone howl so loud. No! We'll see him again, I promise. By the time I got back to the suite, Aunt Daisy was howling too. I thought you fell overboard. I didn't mind getting yelled at. I'm used to it. Not a day goes by in school without my teacher shouting about something, and Papa, well, Papa always seems to be mad at me. But Aunt Daisy wasn't really mad. She didn't get really mad until last night when I slid down the grand staircase. How that lady screamed! Like I really was a giant squid. Aunt Daisy was very serious when we were back in our suite. I want you to promise me, George, no more trouble. But the banister was so shiny and polished, that lady could have moved out of the way. How could she? She was wearing 100 pounds of diamonds. No more trouble. I don't want to have to send a telegram to your father. Don't tell Papa he'll send George away to military school. I'll be good, really. You better be. I'm glad Aunt Daisy is laughing this morning. She hasn't been herself lately, not since Uncle Cliff died last year. He struck it rich selling automobiles. It was his dream to be on the maiden voyage of the Titanic. When Uncle Cliff had his accident, I was sure Aunt Daisy would cancel the trip. But she invited Phoebe and me to go with her instead. She even bought me a new pair of boots in London. No, that's enough about sea monsters. Let's all dress for breakfast. Papa says Aunt Daisy is taking this trip to find a little peace, and he expects me to be a perfect gentleman. Be good. George, you can't get in trouble again. I'm not letting you out of my sight. I'm your guardian angel. I didn't know angels wore spectacles. The smart ones do. Want a lemon drop? No. I hate those old candies. Want to ride the elevators up and down? Hardly any other ship in the world has elevators. Or we could find my new friends, Marco and Enzo, and hear more about Italy. Or do something even better than riding the elevators. Find Mr. Andrews. I thought Mr. Andrews was just another boring rich man coming over to kiss Aunt Daisy's hand the other night. But Mr. Andrews was different. You built the Titanic? Not by myself. It took thousands of men to build her, but I did design her, that's true. Come with me to the first class writing room, and I'll show you the blueprints if you like. The blueprints looked like the skeleton of a giant beast. She's the biggest moving object ever built. 14 stories tall, 45,000 tons of steel, longer than 2 football fields. That's room for almost 2,500 passengers and around 900 crew members. Our aunt says nothing bad can happen to this ship. It's unsinkable. No safer ship. What if the Titanic was hit by a meteor? Phoebe really wants to see a shooting star before we reach New York. I hadn't planned for any meteors hitting the ship, but I'd like to think she could take almost anything and still float. Are there any secret passages? There are escape ladders. They run up the starboard side of the ship, up 2 decks, through the stokers' quarters, and into their dining hall. I hear the crew likes using them instead of stairs. I could ask a million questions. I was like you when I was a boy. One day, I'll predict you'll build a ship of your own. I knew that would never happen. I could barely get through a day at school. But I like Mr. Andrews that he said it. Forget the elevators. Let's find those secret ladders. Come on! But Phoebe has a different place in mind. The library. What about this one? I've been meaning to read more about Halley's Comet. After the library, she drags me back to the boat deck. I feel like a dog on a leash. Strange. What? Looks like there are only 16 boats. That's not nearly enough for everyone. But the ship's unsinkable. So do we really need lifeboats at all? I guess you're right. Now, let's go count how many ladies are wearing hats with real feathers in them. Thump, thump, thump. Groan. And boys and girls, I am going to stop at that page. It's page 30 in the graphic novel. Be sure to watch it again if you like. I always like to read books over and over again, especially ones that I'm really interested in or are my personal favorites. Reading them over again helps you catch different aspects of the novel. And after that, please make sure you pick at least one activity to complete this week. And if you are interested in reading the rest of this novel, there is some links at the optional extensions for the week that you can go on YouTube and find the rest of the novel. Thank you so much for your attention today, boys and girls. Have a great weekend. Bye now.